It's 12 o'clock.
Attention, it's time for the witching hour.
Welcome to the first show of the Witching Hour. I'm your host, Ryan Rat Travis, and it's the very first show. I'm very excited about it. I used to have a show a long time ago in Athol called Freak Show, and this is going to be a lot like that, and it's already really freaky as it is, and I'm very excited about it. A lot of stuff going on. We got bands coming in. We got some really cool guests. Let's get right to the show. I think instead of just putzing around and doing whatever we can do, let's do it. So my first guest is an actor and comedian, best known for playing Sergeant Dietrich on Barney Miller. And he was also in a few other movies and just a great comedian. Please have a great round of applause for Steve Landesberg, everybody. Steve Landesberg? Huh? What? What do you mean he's dead?
He's dead. Like dead.
What do you... That's not good. Wow. We booked him a whole year ago. It's that, oh my God, this is terrible. All right. Well, here's to Steve. Great. Well, let's go to our second guest then. Our second guest is owner of Good Mojo Tattoo in Beverly. She's a tattooist and a heavy metal maniac. Let's welcome Mulysa Mayhem. Right on. Let's hear from Mulysa Mayhem.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, I'm super nervous.
Don't be nervous. It's only cable access. Nobody's watching. So welcome.
Thank you.
What started your tattooing obsession?
Well, I was in art school, and a friend of mine offered me the opportunity to work with him in Apprentice and basically start drawing tattoos for people. Fell in love with it, and so he completely threw me into an apprenticeship and started tattooing. I was 19 at the time, and I guess I didn't get bored of it.
Cool.
It's good for an ADHD personality because you just never get bored with the subject matter and what you're doing, so it's perfect.
So how do you go from paper to skin? Like, what's that transition?
You know, it really depends on the tattoo. Sometimes I'll draw directly on the skin. I like to draw on paper beforehand, though. You know, you create the stencil, you put the design on. I think more of the process has to do with the concept of the tattoo, conceptualizing it, creating it for your client, working with them on what they want. That's more of the bulk of the work than the actual process of tattooing it. Once I get it from stencil or drawing on the skin to the skin and put the pin to it, that's when it's just, it's easy. It's smooth sailing from there.
That's cool. What was your first tattoo doing like?
Oh my God.
How did that?
It was numbing. It was mind-shattering. I mean, you know, you hold the machine and your hand's just shaking and, you know, you're completely flipped out, and sometimes you just psychologically black out. So it's probably not the best thing to describe, but that's what it is.
Do you remember what it was you tattooed?
On myself, I did a small pentagram up on the thigh, because every time you start to tattoo, you should always, or every apprentice should tattoo themselves,
okay.
in my opinion. So
really?
Yeah.
That's cool. How is that tattooing yourself like that?
It
Yeah.
sucks.
It tickles when you get
Oh,
a
yeah.
tattoo. For those of you out there that have never gotten a tattoo, it feels great. It
Yeah.
really feels great. I highly recommend it. There's no pain whatsoever.
Butterfly kisses.
Yes, it's just wonderful. It's just wonderful. And then, how long have you been tattooing?
It'll be, let me see, I started in November of '90. That's when my apprenticeship began. So what is that, 21 years now?
Oh, wow.
So yeah.
And then when did you open your shop?
We opened our shop in December of 2009, and it was a long time coming. And yeah, it's just been awesome. We've been open now a year and almost 3 months.
It's my
So-
favorite tattoo parlor.
Thank
It
you.
really is.
Thank you.
The first time I went in there, I felt instantly welcome, and I just felt like it was a great place to be.
Cool.
The nice thing about your shop is private
Mm-hmm.
rooms. That's so different than anywhere
Mm-hmm.
else. It's just so interesting, you know, like being in your room with your artist. It's really a private event anyway, sort of.
Yep.
I always felt like, you know.
It's very
between-
personal.
Yeah, it's very
Yep.
personal between you and your artist. And you know, I got tattooed by Ray down there, who's a friend of mine from Count Orlocks. And that was quite an interesting experience, getting a tattoo from a friend. I've never got one before. It's always sort of acquaintances,
Yep.
but never anybody I actually knew. And the fact that we were just in our own room listening to Frank Zappa made the whole experience like so wonderful.
Well, that was the whole idea of the shop, was instead of it just being a business where, you know, I call it the meat market, where the person comes in, they pick something off the wall, or they just talk to you for about 10 minutes, and, you know, you draw it up and slap it on, and, you know, there's the transaction. They pay you and it's over with, you know. Maybe you'll see the person again, if you're lucky. Maybe not, you know. You've left your mark, but there's no, hi, how are you? What's your name? You know, why are you getting this? I like the whole idea of stories behind tattoos, and I wanted our customers to have an experience rather than just buying a product and, you know, buying our services. So I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, it's really a great place. Yeah, I think everybody's tattoo should tell a story. You know, all my tattoos tell a story. Actually, I just watched. Have you seen Eastern Promises?
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a
Vigo.
great tattoo movie in
It
a
is.
way, because the whole bottom line is like tattoos tell the story.
Oh, yeah.
And so, and I always feel like, you know, instead of just getting something, get something. I didn't get my first tattoo till I was 39.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yep. Oh,
yeah,
I love the rats.
yeah. I love rats too. Hence the fact of my name.
Yeah, that helps.
So, well, that's awesome. And then what else do you do outside of tattooing? Nothing? Anything?
Domestic goddess, I don't know.
Oh, that's good. Domestic
I'm a
goddess
wife,
is
I'm a
great,
mom.
yeah.
You know, I do illustration and painting.
Oh, cool.
It's cool because nowadays with tattooing, back in the old days it was just, you know, maybe you drew, maybe you illustrated a little bit, but you mainly traced stuff off of a wall and you know, applied it. Whereas these days everybody is some form of artist, you know, whether they do multimedia or mixed media or, you know, sculpture, illustration, painting. They've really raised the bar, so you have to be doing something like that to be a successful tattoo artist these days.
Do you have
So,
a
yeah.
specific style that you like to do?
As tattooing,
Yeah.
for tattooing, I really like photorealistic work. It's a challenge because, you know, to actually take something from life and imitate it on the skin is really, I like the challenges. It excites me. I do a lot of imagery based on mythology, sacred themes, anything from various branches of spirituality. I do also ritual tattooing, which is very different. I call it magical tattooing. But because I'm part of the occult magical community, it's one of the services I offer. And it's really an intense process to, you know, in a service to offer to people. So
Oh, cool.
it's really cool.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Yeah, this was actually from a photo. That's the
It's
first time.
beautiful too.
Yeah.
Done
That was
really well.
Raffi Serrano.
I know that name.
Yeah,
Is he
he's
from
work-
around here or?
Yeah, he was Painted Bird.
Oh yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Oh, that's a really good shop too.
Yeah,
There are
yeah, yeah.
amazing shops now in Massachusetts.
He
It's
moved
fantastic.
to Jersey to do his own shop. I haven't heard from him, but this is
That's great.
like my favorite Well, one of my favorites. They're all my favorites.
I was gonna say you can't choose one. It's like your child. It's like, oh yeah, I like this one better than that one. That one's a brat. I can't deal.
Yeah, especially if they all mean something. I mean, like, you know, it's like, I think I've only had one tattoo that I'm kind of pissed off about, and the one over here.
Really?
That
Oh,
this
the
was all
kanji,
done
or?
in one shot,
Yeah.
and the guy who did it, he like didn't separate the E and the T, and it's like
yeah.
it really needs to be retouched and whatnot.
Kind of crammed together.
Yeah, yeah, and so I don't know. I was just like, and that's what Ray did.
Yay.
Looks great. I get compliments all the time.
Cool.
So, well, thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
And let's give everybody information on where your shop is.
Sure. We are Good Mojo Tattoos. We are located right over the bridge, not over the rainbow. Beautiful Beverly, off of Cabot Street. We're on Washington Street, 5 Washington. Look for the big purple neon sign that says tattoos. And you want our phone number?
Yeah.
All right, it's 978-666, that was done on purpose, 0931. And we also have a website that's under construction now, like every other website on the planet. It's www.goodmojotattoos.com. So
Awesome.
hope you'll stop by.
Well, thank you.
Thank
for
you,
coming on.
sir.
Our next guest is a comedian and sometimes a poet, and he's a rather interesting dude. I've known him for a long time. He also shares the same nickname as me, and we battled it out, in which I lost and had to add extra T to my name, but that was long ago. Please welcome Steve Albert.
Hey guys, good to see you, because I can see right through to you. And it's a pleasure to be here in Salem, Mass, the other Salem as we call it, up on the state line. And Salem, Mass has a lot of great things going for it, a lot of very interesting things, some sort of history. Apparently you have a statue dedicated to a sitcom. And you have witches on signs that for businesses that have absolutely nothing to do with witches, which is all well and good. But quite frank, I won't be coming to this town very often because I like camping, and to the best of my knowledge, you don't have much for campgrounds here. I generally try to avoid Massachusetts when it comes to camping in general, simply because they have this weird law in Mass where you're not allowed to drink while camping in the state parks, which to many of us defeats the purpose of camping. Now, granted, some places, they don't really enforce that rule as strictly as others. Like a lot of places, as long as you're not leaving broken glass everywhere, they'll be pretty cool about it. Others, like if you go up to Salisbury, they actually do cup checks. And I don't mean they'll sniff your cup to see what's in it. I mean they will kick you in the crotch if they kind of suspect there's a possibility that you might be drinking. Pretty strict, in my opinion. Even this time of year, though, I can't actually go without the fresh air, even if it's too cold to camp. What I like to do is I like to sleep with the windows open, and what this does, it brings the fresh air in. But recently, a bird flew in my window, and to a lot of very superstitious people, and I hear you have some of them in Salem, a lot of very superstitious people, that means a member of the family is going to die. In Salem, I just want to say you guys are all family to me. And I wish you all the best of luck tonight with that whole bird guiding your soul to heaven thing. As Ryan mentioned, I recently, I've been a poet over the years. I recently wrote a poem about the outdoors. This is called Why Trees Are Better Than People. I went to the woods, for it's as good a place as any to stare at trees. Trees don't mind if you stare at them. No tree will ever call the cops if it catches you taking its picture while hiding behind a rock. Trees don't mind if you use their young as walking sticks. If you urinate upon a tree, nobody considers it a freaky fetish. But most importantly, no tree will ever give away your location by screaming in the fire. Thank you. I got held up on my way to work recently by a garbage truck at gunpoint. I luckily had some trash in the car. I gave it to them. They were happy about that. But I work in a rough neighborhood. I work at a psych hospital. And we still get that not in my backyard treatment from a lot of the neighbors. even though it's really not, it's a neighborhood where nobody has a backyard. So I'm not quite sure how they can say not in my backyard when you don't have one. So every now and then, just to mess with the neighbors, what I like to do is I like to take off my name tag, run out into the yard, because we actually have one unlike them, and throw on a Hannah Montana t-shirt. Start climbing the fence, yelling, "Freedom," just to mess with them. They earned it. Two things, by the way, that will never work in a psych hospital. One, of course, as you may know, is the windows. And the other is dry humor, which you learn if you ever find yourself going in on your day off just to do a little bit of paperwork or whatever, and you start telling everybody, "Hey, I'm not really here." Don't do that. That's mean. Kind of confuses folks. I almost didn't get the job. I had to take that nursing assistant test, and one of the questions on the test there to become a nurse's aide or whatever my job title is here. It's a weird job. It changes titles every time you go to a different company. But I had to take the test, and one of the questions on the test was, how far in do you stick a rectal thermometer? And I said just beyond the bulb, which is about 1 inch, because it was a written exam. And I got that one wrong because the only acceptable answer was 1 inch. So now I'm feeling really bad for this patient because not only do we have to jam the thermometer in back there, apparently we also have to jam a ruler in there as well. So that might be getting a little tight. Weird thing is, one of the other guys who struggled with me came over from the field of construction. So he was using a tape measure, hit the recoil button, that little metal tab got stuck. I'm guessing that was moderately uncomfortable. Of course, I think we all agree the absolute worst measuring device to use in this situation would be GPS, because there's absolutely no way you can read the screen through the lubricant. That just isn't going to happen. It's not my first job in human services. I've been working in this field for like 10 years. My first job, I was a bouncer at an orphanage. More porridge, please, sir. More porridge. We said you're cut off. At least that's what the job felt like. To be honest with you, it was just another psych hospital working with younger clients with special needs. And I loved working with the kids. I was happy. I knew it. I had my buddy, Sandra. Sandra kicked ass. We had to put a stop to that. People were getting hurt. Tailbones completely mangled. Then I had my buddy, Aaron. And Aaron was great because he reminded me a lot of myself when I was 12 years old. Because he had that same sick sense of humor that a lot of kids have, that Mad Magazine type of humor, where there's maybe a little bit of coolness, but it doesn't quite matter. Like, we'd be playing Hangman, not because Aaron wanted to improve his vocabulary, but because he wanted to watch that little stick figure hang. So we'd be playing, and it's like, all right, Aaron, what's the next letter you're picking? The at sign? That's not really a letter, man. We're just going to draw the spine now. And he wanted all those extra details. Again, not so we could run through the entire alphabet, because he wasn't even picking from the alphabet, but just because he wanted those extra details. So we draw the X's for the eyes, and the tongue hanging out, and the widow crying in the background, the guy with the hood getting paid. In human services, paying as well as it does, I actually had to work another job. I was working at this homeless shelter. Not that anybody realized I worked there. At the end of the day, we all got off the couch. I got paid. They got really, really confused. But because I was so tired from working with the kids, when I got to the shelter, I'd forget to change voices. I'd be saying stupid things like, mister, we only use clean needles here. Now put down the knife and show me nice hands. And one time we had this guy who was a bit upset, we'll say. And we're not really allowed to put hands on and physically throw them out in this particular facility. So we have to have the police come in, and the police talk with him, reason with him, as they do now and then. And he starts yelling at the cops. He says, I've been on crack cocaine for 3 weeks straight. And the cops are curious, and they ask him about that. He says, you know why I've been on crack for 3 weeks straight? And they say, why? He says, because the heroin in this town sucks. And this was in Lowell, so the cops got defensive. They take pride in some things. Nothing wrong with pride. I used to have a much better beard than this. I used to have a really cool beard that was shaved on the sides, came down to here. It was a Scott Ian, the Jim the Anvil Neidhart, the King Tut, you know, whatever you want to call it, based on whether you like pro wrestling, heavy metal, or Egyptian history. But they made me go with a more conservative beard. I said, I can't shave this off. It's part of my beliefs. And they said, well, what religion are you? It's like, I'm not religious. I just believe I look good this way. They didn't particularly care for that. They disagreed substantially. A friend of mine had to swallow her pride. She was a cannibalistic lioness. But she got through it okay. You need that sense of accomplishment now and then. I myself took up painting for a little while. Wasn't very good at it. You could still see the numbers. Truth is, I think you're better off just stealing a different license plate altogether. We'll just close out, just if I can take advantage of this opportunity to let you guys know. They say every year 5 or 6 people are killed by peat moss. If anybody sees Pete, tell him enough is enough. It must stop. Anyway, I'm Steve Albert. It's been a pleasure talking to you guys. Salem. Talk to you in a little while.
All right. Well, that was great, Steve. Really funny. I had to stop myself from bursting out laughing several hundred times.
I needed to laugh, man. You know what it's like to perform comedy with no laughs?
I just thought it'd make it difficult on you.
No, that would have been cool. Laughter would, yeah, damn you. Nobody interrupts my comedy set with laughter, ever.
That's awesome. So how long have you been doing comedy?
Off and on since before I started doing poetry. I mean, I've tried a little bit here. Back in the Rat days, I tried a little bit. Then a few years ago, a buddy of mine, Chris, opened up a room right around the corner from my office. And just kind of been around it. You know, it comes and goes.
Yeah.
I've been getting a little paid work now and then, so I've been trying a little bit more. But
we did. I did a little of the stand-up scene a long time ago with Fubis, the sketch comedy. You know, D.A. Boucher and gentleman named nameless.
okay.
And and I felt it was
no
like
animosity there.
it was hard.
Anti-plug.
It was hard, man. Comedians are not nice to other comedians, especially if you're in a sketch comedy.
Comedians aren't nice to sketch people. I'll grant you that.
Yeah, they told us, well, we don't like sketch, and I said, well, you don't like Saturday Night Live or SCTV, and they said no, and they ended up sucking anyway. So, but we were great. But yeah, I found it was a much different world than being in the the poetry open mic scene. You know.
Okay, well, it's like a lot of ways. It's like anything else. You're gonna find some people more supportive than others. A lot of folks, you kind of have to prove yourself by showing up more regularly. Then they just get to know you, whether they like you or not. They'll start to like you.
Right.
Yeah, it definitely has. The criteria, I think, among comics is a little bit more strict and a little bit more. There's definitely a little bit more venom in comedy than there is in the poetry scene.
Yeah, a little bit. We got to pretty well known at Comedy Connection. Kevin Knox was really nice to us, and Paul Nardizzi was super nice to us. Kevin Knox is no longer with us anymore.
No, he's passed on.
He's really sad. He was such a great guy. Besides comedy and poetry, you work in social services? Yeah,
I've been doing that for about 10 years off and on. I used to work at another public access station in Lowell.
Right.
Before that, I was working at a residential school for kids in state custody. The whole time I was working at the public access Lowell, I was working weekends at an outreach center for the homeless, mentally ill. And when I left the station 5 years ago, I've been back in a variety of environments, including the shelter, a couple of hospitals, a day program for adults with developmental disabilities. Really rewarding field.
Yeah. I've done a lot of working with developmentally disabled, and it really is rewarding. It's really cool. in that aspect of working with people. Right now, I work with the public, but in the
Same thing.
services industry, and that's not nice.
Yeah.
Working for the public in that aspect where they scream at you about parking that's not even your fault or stuff like that, it's just crazy. Now, going back to cable access, now you had your own show. Don't try this at home.
Well, it wasn't really my show. I was part of it. It's definitely a collaborative effort there. I hosted it accidentally.
Nice.
Everybody else had an instrument or some sort of camera skill. I developed camera skills later on, or some sort of director skill, some sort of soundboard skill. I walked in, and everybody else has their jobs already assigned. And Eric Sack, the producer, says, "All right, somebody get on camera," because we were running live, and that seemed to be, if you're going to have a show, generally speaking, it's a good idea to have somebody on camera, especially in a studio show.
Right.
And, me not knowing what I was walking into, stepped in front of the camera. And those hosted-wise, the hosting wasn't really what held those shows together, clearly. They had some great bands, beautiful chaos.
It really was. I'm really jealous of that show. Everything that I do always aspires to be anywhere near that show, and that show was miles ahead of what it should have been. I still have Abe Lincoln going off in my head.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the band running in, not knowing you guys would need them, because you and Dia were doing a poetry set, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Just in the middle of the poetry set, you were expecting to get the Abe Lincoln, which was, for some reason, was the gimmick of that episode.
Yeah.
So like 5 minutes into your set, you see the entire band running back to their instruments, start screaming, "Abe Lincoln!" and then they walk out of it again. Yeah.
Oh, that was awesome, and I just love that. That show was great. Oh, man. So are you, what are you doing now? More comedy, poetry?
I'm working more of the poetry gimmick, if you're not offended by the term gimmick.
No.
Into a comedy act. And it's been going over pretty well. The bit I did there, "Why Trees Are Better Than People," has been a staple of the act for a little while. I have another piece called "Flipper Won't Be With Us Tonight," which ties into a lot of jokes I do about religion and the religion I grew up in, which I managed to get away from.
And what was that?
I was raised in captivity by one and package Jehovah's Witnesses.
Nice. That's always interesting.
Yeah. So.
Wow. So I'm glad you escaped from that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because you're a pretty interesting guy.
Thank you.
And what places do you go? Where do you read?
I'm trying to get the poems memorized. Where do I read them? Places where they don't like you to read stuff. But places I hang out. A lot of Southern New Hampshire places. There's a couple of great rooms called there's a great room called Fodes in Nashua. I'll be down the street from there tonight. No point in plugging it because I'm not sure when we're going to air.
Yeah, this is going to be airing in April. So.
Yeah, to find out where I'm reading, I've got a website. Can I plug that?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, ratbas.com, ratbas.com. Edit out the spelling since I'm sure that'll be in a banner.
Nice.
And that a lot of regular rooms. This nice room in Lowell that I'm playing now that just started up a few weeks ago called the Back Page. Nice little jazz and comedy club. Studio down in Cambridge, comedy studio. I still play there now and then. Motley's is a very supportive group there. If anybody ever wants to try comedy and look into joke writing, drop by there sometime on a Tuesday. Renata Taco is running a great little workshop there before the show, so try to get in touch with those folks. Tons of other great open mics, showcase venues. Seems thanks to the internet thing they got going now. Very easy to get in touch with people nowadays. Find out about more shows. And Boston comedy scene. I'm sorry you didn't have luck with it 10 years ago, but come back, man. It's gotten better.
Yeah, all right, cool. Yeah. Hey, how did you get Rat Bastard? That's
nobody else wanted that name. No, it was similar to you. I used to breed rats. I started with mice, worked my way up, and I think I had the same issues with you probably had back then, which led to the contest of adding the extra T because back then I had much longer hair. Everybody said, "Well, rat must be with 2 T's." So I needed a last name, and Rat Bastard, not really the most complimentary name to a lot of folks. Still get funny looks at it now and then, even though I've been using the name Steve Albert for the most part.
Yeah.
And Rat Bass, which a lot of people can't even figure out what it's short for, which is nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, that's where it came from. I started as Rat simply because I used to breed them. Needed a last name. Its bastard seemed as good as any.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Everybody doesn't know this. Steve and I battled it out. We were both in the poetry scene, in the Cambridge scene at that time. Well, I was in the Cambridge scene, and Steve was around there. And
Floating around wherever.
yeah, we kind of had a battle. The first, I think it was one of the first slams that Stone Soup Poetry ever had.
Yeah.
And I lost. I couldn't believe I lost, and I had to add the extra T to my name. But I did.
And you stuck with it for a while, man.
Yeah.
You stuck with it way longer than I thought you would.
Hey, I'm a man of my word.
And I still got that Way Cool Junior trophy somewhere. That
That's
that
awesome.
skeleton trophy. I've still got that somewhere.
Oh, man. That's cool. Well, thank you for being on the show and put up with all the hassle and chaos that happened tonight.
Nature of public access, man. It's
Yeah,
always gonna
well,
be.
pay me
Great being
back
here.
for having us on. Don't try this at home. That was a good time, and I hope you had a good time today.
I did, man. I did.
All right, awesome. Thanks. Our next guest is a band. Oh, man, I am so fucking excited about this. They are the tribute band from my fucking favorite band in the world, Black Sabbath. Oh, my God, I'm so fucking excited. They're going to play a shitload of music for you guys, and I hope you fucking like them. This is Supernaut, motherfuckers.
Visions cupped within a flower, deadly battles with strange power. Faces shine a deadly smile. Look upon you at your trial. Chilling numbs from head to toe. Icy sun with frosty glow. Words that go read to your sorrow. Words that go read now tomorrow. Feel your spirit rise with a breeze. Feel your body fall into your knees. Take your walk of remorse. Turn your body to a corpse. Turn your body to a corpse. Turn your body to a corpse. Sleeping wall of remorse. Turn your body to a corpse. Now from darkness there springs light. Wall of sleep is cool and bright. Wall of sleep is lying broken. Sun shines and you have awoken.
Hey, everybody. I'm really glad to have you guys in. Thank you for coming all the way to Salem to come visit us. So we have playing the part of Ozzy.
Chris Ryan.
All right. And Geezer Butler over here.
Frank Bolero.
All right, Frank. And Bill Ward.
Mark George.
All right. And Tony Iommi.
Mike Lyons.
All right, Mike Lyons. Now, Mike, I know you. I've known you for a long time. Right? How long?
20 years about?
Yeah, 20 years.
Early 90s, man. Those
Yeah.
were cool times.
Big time. So, what made you start a Sabbath band?
Happened by accident, but in the 90s, just jamming with friends. It turns out we all like Black Sabbath, and so we decided to form a tribute band.
Cool.
Because that's what we were playing at the time.
That's what you were playing. How long you guys been around?
This lineup, 3.5 years.
Nice. And who's the most steady person? How did it start? You? And
Yeah,
then
I'm the only original guy.
That's awesome.
But these are the best guys I've worked with.
Yeah, they
they're
sound really fucking good.
awesome.
You guys all sound really fucking good. Let's see. How you been playing around and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. We play at Dodge Street here in Salem once in a while. We've been playing at the Chit Chat in Haverhill. We play all over the place, actually.
You guys got any gigs in April?
April 1st in Lowell.
April
in
1st?
Lowell,
in Lowell.
Is that at Voices?
Voices, yeah.
Voices Rock
All
Club
right.
in Lowell, April 1st.
Well,
We
you
have
guys
a
have missed that.
We have a Dodge Street gig, tentatively.
I'm not sure. We're trying to get something.
Trying to get something.
Well, look forward to these guys. These guys are great. One of the best Sabbath band I've ever met. Now, Frank, you also play bass in other bands.
Yeah, I play bass in Run to the Hills, Iron Maiden tribute band, and also been dabbling a bit in little drums in Misfits tribute band.
Oh, Misfits tribute band. Oh, that's really cool. Hopefully, we'll get that Maiden band on. And then, what else do you strictly play? Sabbath.
Sabbath is my number one love.
Oh, nice.
I've been into Sabbath since probably 12 years old when I
Oh,
saw
wow.
Bill Ward play, and I said, "That man is my drummer."
Right on.
And I'm following his footsteps.
Yeah,
so I've been a
he's
Sabbath fan forever. I do also play in the same band as Frank, the Run to the Hills
Oh, cool.
Maiden tribute.
oh,
you
nice,
know,
nice. That's cool. And how did you start filling in for Ozzy?
Well, when I was doing karaoke for a while, going there specifically to sing Black Sabbath and Alice Cooper.
Nice.
And then Frank posted a thing on MySpace saying Ozzy wanted. So I
Ozzy
clicked
Zig needs a gig.
something like that. Yeah. So I clicked on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember MySpace too. Yeah.
So yeah, now I do the Ozzy 70s impersonation thing.
Nice.
And people always ask me if, do you bite the head off a bat? And then I stab them.
That's right.
Kind of sick of hearing that.
Have you read the Ozzy autobiography?
Yeah, actually, I was at the book signing
Oh, were you?
at Barnes & Noble in Boston, so I got to meet him. I got to meet him dressed up like this as an idiot. So,
Oh, nice. What did he
so,
say?
He didn't say anything. He just signed the book and looked up. That's the best.
Do you have a favorite Ozzy circa year that you like to emulate?
Well, this is strictly the 70s,
Right,
70
yeah.
to 78
Right.
when he wore stuff like
Yeah,
this.
that's really
so.
cool. What's your favorite song to sing?
Ooh, favorite song to sing? I don't know. Wicked World.
Wicked World's a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. I like NB too. You sound really good. What's your favorite song to play, Mike?
Supernaut's one of the favorite ones, which we're going to play next. It's
Nice.
One of my favorite. There's all of my favorites, though.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty fanatical about Black Sabbath.
Nice. You don't go past the Ozzy years, right? Maybe.
Not with this lineup, yeah.
No, maybe Dio, but not with this lineup.
Yeah, maybe.
And maybe Ian Gillian, which is
The Born Again album's cool.
the Born Again. Nice. He can't sing like that anymore, you know.
I know.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he looks like an old man these days.
I heard that. The worst one was Glenn Hughes. Everybody agree that Glenn Hughes fucking sucks? Yeah.
I thought well, Tony Martin is the worst, I think.
Yeah.
After Glenn Hughes,
Right.
even after the low point of Glenn Hughes, it went lower with Tony Martin. That guy was terrible.
Yeah,
Sorry anybody who likes him. I know some people like him, but I don't.
Yeah, I don't know anybody that likes Glenn Hughes though, so we could feel free to beat the shit out of him. I got to see that show.
Yeah, he
and
sucked.
Yeah,
He was
General scattered in their masses. I'm sorry, I have a cold. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. It's great. All right, cool. So we got a couple more songs. And anybody else have anything else to say? Do you have a website?
We're on Facebook. If you look up Supernaut, the Black Sabbath Experience.
The Black Sabbath Experience. You call yourself an experience more than a tribute band?
It's more like an experience, man.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, all right. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
And fucking have an awesome rest of your set. Right on.
I wanna touch the sun, but I don't need to fly. I'm gonna climb up every mountain on the moon and find the distance run away with the across the ocean, turn every bend. I found the plastic and the golden rainbows in. I've been through magic and through life's reality. I've lived 1,000 years and never found the key. Generals gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the field, the body's burning as the war machine keeps turning. Death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed minds. Oh, Lord, yeah! Politicians hide themselves away. They only started the war. Why should they go out to fight? They leave that role to the poor. Yeah. Time will tell them their power minds, making war just for fun, treating people just like pawns in chess. Wait till the judgment day comes, yeah. Now in darkness, world stops turning. Ashes where their bodies burning. No more war pigs of their power. Hand of God has struck the hour. Day of judgment, God is calling. On their knees, the war pigs crawling, begging mercies for the sins. Satan laughing spreads his wings. Oh Lord, yeah.
All right. I want to thank my guests, Mulysa Mayhem, Steve Albert, and fucking Supernaut. They guys were so great. Thanks for putting up with all of our bullshit and everything. It was great. I'm glad you guys came. Hope you had a good time. I had too. Thanks. See you next week, motherfuckers!